Did you guys see the movie It's a Wonderful Life? Yeah, it's a classic, isn't it?
Yes.
And as you recall, it's a movie set in the 20s about a banker named George Bailey. And in the story, as George Bailey's about to go to his long-awaited honeymoon, he's suddenly told that there's a mob gathering outside his bank. The mob caught wind that the bank that he's running is low on funds, so they all wanted to get their money back. And so George Bailey just scurried back to his bank, and this is what he told the mob. You're thinking of this place all wrong, as if I had the money in a safe. Well, the money's not here. The money's in Joe's house. That's right next to yours. And in the Kennedy's house, and in Mrs. Maitland's house, and 100 others. You're lending them the money so that they can build, and they're going to pay it back to you the best they can. What are you going to do? Foreclose on them? Banks take our deposits and then lend them out for a long period of time, so they don't see that money for a long time. You see, so when people all demand their money at the same time, it is called a bank run, and it fails a bank. A lot has changed since George Bailey's time. Banking has become a lot more sophisticated. New regulations in place. Banks have become more interconnected. But the underlying structure remains the same. And the only difference is that in today's world, you can think of the banking system as being one bank. On September 18th of 2008, starting at 11 a.m., some $550 billion were withdrawn from money market accounts in the space of a couple of hours. Money market accounts are the modern day deposit accounts, mainly held by rich people and corporations. But for all intents and purposes, they're just bank accounts. Let me put $550 billion in context. If you added up all the US dollar notes and coins around the world, you would get just $1 trillion. So I want you to imagine this scene of, say, 55,000 rich people and powerful executives around the world, all stopping what they're doing at that exact hour, getting on their BlackBerries, pounding their fists on their tables, and saying, I want all my money out of the bank account right now. That, in a nutshell, is what was going on. As George Bailey stopped the panic on his bank by giving the people his honeymoon money, the Federal Reserve, which is the central bank of the United States, tried to stem the tide of the demand deposits by providing people with an emergency fund of $105 billion. But they quickly realized that it wasn't enough. So with the help of Congress, they froze all the accounts, and before the markets opened again, they said the government is going to guarantee all the money in those accounts. If they had not done so, the estimate is that some $5.5 trillion would have left money market accounts by just 2 p.m. on the same day. This would have meant the failure of every major U.S. financial institution and perhaps of the world. Money is like the blood of the economy. When people buy and sell, money exchanges hands, and money goes around the economy much like blood does around the human body. And banking system is like the cardiovascular system. It's where money lives, it's where money gets created, and where it gets destroyed. The collapse of the banking system would be like a stoppage of blood flow in the human body, would have been like a heart attack that would have plunged the US and the world economy into a second Great Depression, without a doubt. The First Depression wreaked such havoc on people's lives that it caused the rise of Hitler and the Second World War. I imagine similar things would have happened. And in fact, Hank Paulson, who was the Secretary of Treasury at the time, told Congress that if they did not act right then and there would be martial law across the US. In It's a Wonderful Life, George Bailey survived, but just barely. Fellow Toastmasters, we were also this close.